Well. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Tip Balls Podcast. Today is Friday, I said February. That wouldn't be good. December 6th, 2024. We're back. We're back to pick some Week 14 games. My name is Michael Palazzolo. My friends call me Zolo. You can too. And to my right is the one, the only Uncle Sam.
Hello.
In the middle, missing today. He's taking his mother out for her, what is it, her 60th?
No, just Christmas in New York.
Christmas in New York for her big birthday. Missing is the one and only Sam Randazzo. But on the ones and twos behind the decks, as always, we have our wonderful producer, Bruce the Tugboat Venditti.
Hello.
And we have a lot to talk about, but I'm a little distracted right now because I'm spamming this link out to as many people that I know. There's a big game last night, Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
That was a good game. Good game.
That's it? Just a good game?
Yeah. They overachieved as far as I'm concerned. I didn't think they'd be able to do it.
What do you mean by overachieved?
Overachieved. I did not.
I mean, you and I didn't pick
I did
them.
not think they would win.
You guys are really.
I did not think they would win.
Did you think?
I thought they were missing so much they wouldn't be able to compete.
Did you think that they'd
wrong.
come close to winning? Did you think they'd have a
sorry?
shot? Did you think they had a shot?
Yeah, I thought they had a shot. I didn't think the game would be runaway or nothing like that, but I just didn't think they had enough. They had enough bullets to win, but they did. They had some gutsy calls at the end, and they wound up pulling it out.
So, Bruce, if you could believe it, I actually do have 5 things today. If you want to do the cue.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Let's start at the beginning here. Thing number 1, the story that everyone's talking about is the 4th downs. It's the talk of the league. Whether you were for it or against it, that's one thing. That's a whole separate thing. I really want to hear what Uncle Sam has to say about it. But Dan Campbell was 4 of 5 going for it on 4th down yesterday, 80%. All of them meaningful, including the one that he didn't miss, the one that he didn't convert. And the one to end the game was unlike a lot of people have ever seen before. It was rogue, and it was a lot of people call it you have a 20 and you're playing blackjack and you're hitting to trying to get the ace. That's what they did. They hit on a 20. But it won them the game, and it made a lot of sense to me. And Uncle Sam, I need you to banter back with me here. I want to hear what you have to say about the 4th downs.
He is what he is, dude. He's done it from day one. Everybody thought early on in his career here that he was just doing it because of lack of talent. It's not the issue anymore. It's who he is. It's what he does. And he's making more than he misses. So how can you criticize it? Because he continues to win. Look at his record. It speaks for itself.
I'm happy you said that. So what makes the Lions, and what makes Dan Campbell is that they do go for these.
Yeah.
It's that it happens. And we can argue all you want. The one in their own end zone in the 4th quarter, in their own territory in the 4th quarter, you can argue. Yeah, you could play that game all you want. Oh, I didn't like it. It didn't. It was the end of the 3rd quarter, right? It's the end of the 3rd quarter.
He's done it from day one.
He's always done it.
Done it from day one.
And this is how I've explained it to people going back to San Francisco last year. You have to take the bad with the good, because the reason they are where they are is because there is so much good. And, of course, I think Al Michaels had a line last night. There's a thin line between being a genius and a bum or something like that. Yeah, of course. But the game is completely interesting if they don't go for it on some of those 4th downs. It changes. You miss some touchdowns. You miss some time of possession to take the ball off the field. And the mindset is we have a defense that's, I don't want to say lackluster, but it's missing some pieces right now, right? And when you're missing pieces, the best defense is a good offense, and you want to keep your offense on the field as long as possible, which means going for it on 4th down in a lot of instances.
Over the courses of years and years that you've watched football, and you see teams want to go for it, players want to go for it, and the coach always steps in and says, "You know what? No, we're going to punt it." You realize the morale on your team every time a guy does that? It just tells you that he does not have enough confidence in his guys. Where Dan Campbell, on the other hand, is using that as a tool to get his guys to play up to par where he feels that they can win it. And if they don't make it, he eats the bullet. He eats the bullet. It's my call, my fault. He doesn't blame anybody but himself. And I think he's got so much respect from his players. They believe they can come out of any situation. And they've been showing they can do that. That's what makes teams special. So if this is what it's come down to, that we're gonna bitch about him missing 1 out of 5, I don't know what you can fucking say on it. Doesn't make any sense to me.
You also
Stupid.
You hit the nail on the head on something as well when you reference the fact that it shows you, if you don't go for it, sometimes it could show your team that you don't have confidence in them.
Correct.
What's the other side of the coin when you do go for it?
Nothing. You're showing these guys that you have confidence that they can get the fucking job done.
Which isn't
That's
nothing.
Key. That is key.
Which isn't nothing. And that's another important part of the equation when it comes to this, is that he has the utmost confidence in his team to convert these 4th downs, which
His
is why
team and
he's
his
going for
coaching
them.
staff.
His team and his coaching staff.
Yes, that
He
he can
thinks
get it
that
done.
they are always going to be, and I will give you a million examples of this. We could talk about this all day about how well prepared the Lions are all the time. They might not be the most talented team in the NFL, but they are by far the most well-prepared team in the NFL.
I think they're the best coach team in the NFL
By far.
right now.
By far.
As of right now.
And that's and part of coaching is preparation. And if you're prepared to go for it, like the Tim Patrick touchdown call on 4th down, they ran right to the line. They got a look that they liked, and they knew Tim Patrick would be open, and he was open, and they went for it and they got it. Right?
Yeah.
If
He's
you're
a big body
prepared,
guy they've been waiting for the last 2 years.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that leads me to thing number 2, which is Tim Patrick. He's progressively, first things first, Tim Patrick was never bad. Going back to that season 2 years ago in Denver, he was just banged up. He had 2 season-ending injuries, but he is that big body X receiver that they've needed. He is a more than capable Josh Reynolds replacement. The most damage he does is in run blocking. That's where he does really good damage. And it was so fitting that his coming out party was last night offensively, because I have been telling the people next to me all year, this is the time. And Tim Patrick's going to get that touchdown. It's coming. It's coming. So it was so cool to finally see him get rewarded, because he's been good all year. He's gotten rewarded for it. He's steadily gotten better. He's an example of what the guys that they just brought in could be if they develop properly, because that's what the Lions do, is they coach and they develop and they prepare you. They're always going to be the most prepared team on the field going forward. That's just something that you have to realize, and Tim Patrick exemplifies that better than anybody. What do you think, Uncle Sam?
I agree. I mean, he's been money. Not a lot of people can say that, but he has been money. I mean, listen, they played a really tough game. They had a lot of new faces out there that probably guys have never seen. And they showed that they had enough grit to pull through there. I mean, it was a close game. It could have went either way, but they prevailed in it. Just like the Chicago game, just like the last 3 games that they played, So hopefully they got 10 days off now. Hopefully they can get some of these guys healed up and get them back, especially on the O-line. I truly think they need Decker bad. He needs to get back.
I agree.
And I think they look good. I want to see how they size up against a team like Buffalo and a true MVP candidate like Josh Allen. I want to see how they can react to somebody like that who can put a game on their back and win it. I want to see how they're going to defend him.
I'm very happy you brought up the injuries as well, because that's thing number 3. They have 10 days. They got a big win yesterday, and they have 10 days to get guys back, and they will.
And they've clinched a playoff spot. They've already clinched.
And they've clinched it. We'll get into the bigger picture there, but they have 10 days. I mean, you hypothetically, Decker, I know he didn't practice all week. Decker should be back for Buffalo. One of Anzarike and Pascal should be back. Aleem McNeil should be out of the concussion protocol. Things are.
Yeah,
gonna
he's got
trend-
10 days. I think he'll be all right.
I do too, and he went back into the game, didn't he?
Yeah.
I know he eventually was pulled again.
He
but-
did, but they pulled him. They wanted that's a precaution thing, and
It's a
I get
precaution.
that part. But you know what? I mean,
Boy,
yeah, you got some people in the chat here talking about they thought Skipper did a great job, and I'm going to tell you something. Dan Skipper is the epitome of grit. He's not the most talented guy. He's a good run blocker, awful in pass protection, but he did a great job yesterday. He really did. He played his ass off. He gave this team everything he's got, and that's why he's still here, because of a guy like him. Could he make it on another roster? Probably not. Probably as a backup, yes, but not as a starter. And he's come in, he's filled that spot, and he's played his ass off. You can't expect more out of somebody like him. You can't.
Thing number 4, I've said this before. I said this after the Texans game. I think everyone's on notice about the Detroit Lions. I don't see a world where they aren't the Super Bowl favorites after last night. I don't see a world where they won't be favored going forward unless there's some sort of catastrophic injury. I just don't see it. Uncle Sam and I both picked against them on Wednesday. I didn't think that they could overcome what they overcame on defense. They did with flying colors. It goes back to the coaching thing. They were so well prepared. Aaron Glenn had an answer for almost anything except for trying to take down Josh Jacobs in the first half. They were pretty bad in run protection. It's hard to do when you're losing McNeil.
Little thing about Josh Jacobs. Let me enlighten our audience here. In the last 4 games, this guy's had 8 touchdowns in the last 4 games. He's probably been the most productive back in the NFL the last 4 games, and nobody talks about that. He has 8 touchdowns in 4 games.
That's all.
That tells you right there. The guy's a beast.
I think if you have McNeil yesterday, it changes things a little bit for Josh Jacobs, but he still had his way.
He was going to have his way no matter what.
They were doing runs.
Doesn't
to the
matter
outside.
who they play.
You need competent DNs. Yeah, I mean, everyone's going to be on notice. They had it. The Lions fielded a JV defense yesterday and beat one of the hottest teams in football. One of the only teams that was in the national.
They went into San Francisco and slapped the shit out of them. Okay, the week prior to that, who did they play the week before San Francisco? They played San Francisco last week. Who'd they play?
I will tell you right now.
But they played with them.
They had won 7 of 8. Their only loss was to the Lions.
Correct. The game where Kirby Joseph.
Yeah. So last week was the
ball.
Dolphins on Thanksgiving, and of course they looked well, right? They took advantage of the snow and ran the ball well. They slapped San Francisco,
Bad.
like you said.
That was an embarrassing.
Got lucky against Chicago, but they still won. They lost against the
Hey,
Lions.
they're not the only ones that got lucky against Chicago. We did too, and we won. Yeah.
Jacksonville, they had a last-second win against Jacksonville. They had a last-second win against Houston. That's probably their last 6 games right there.
Yeah. So they've been hot. They beat good teams.
The gist is the Lions fielded spare parts on defense yesterday.
And
I looked up.
They pulled out a great win.
And they played well defensively, I thought.
Yeah.
I thought for the most part, you could say, oh, they gave up 31 points. Yeah, they did. Of course, they gave up 7 in their own red zone. And then they had a turnover in their own red zone.
Correct.
It's 14 points right there. You held them to what, 3 in the first half? Was it 17-3? Or was it 17? Yeah, I mean, what more can you say about Aaron Glenn? He's been auditioning all year for head coaching jobs. He's going to get one.
The thing that'll put these guys over the top, him and Ben Johnson, it's real simple. They win a Super Bowl. Detroit wins a Super Bowl. These 2 guys can pick where they want to go and pick the number. And that's the best resume you could put out there. They need to win a Super Bowl. And these 2 guys know it. So, enjoy them while they're here. Because if they do win, I think they're both gone. It's my opinion.
In fairness, their replacements are also here, though.
Possibly.
There's 2 replacements on both sides of the ball. If anyone's never heard of Tanner Engstrand, he's the Lions passing game coordinator. He's also been here since day one. Scotty Montgomery, the Lions running backs coach, is going to have a pretty good shot at the offensive coordinator position. They just brought in Terrell Williams, the defensive line coach, who will have a really good shot at D coordinator. There's guys
Yeah.
here, so I wouldn't be crazy concerned. But yeah, I wouldn't be Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn's as good as gone, as far as I'm concerned. There's no scenario.
It's
where he
possible.
doesn't get hired.
I don't think that these guys are in any kind of hurry to go anywhere. I think they have business to
I don't
take
think
up
Ben
here.
Johnson's in a hurry.
I don't think Aaron Glenn is, to be honest with you either.
I hope you're
I
right.
think he loves where he's at. He loves what he's got going on here. He likes it here. Loves these guys. One thing about him, he's true. When he tells you he loves his guys, he loves his guys. That's one thing about him. And he's an honest, no shit guy. And hopefully they complete the task. They complete the task, then you got to think about that other stuff. Right now, you don't have to think about it, though.
Speaking of completing the task, Uncle Sam, this is thing number 5. I want you guys to know how important the implications of winning last night. It to me, it was the big. Bruce, I want your opinion on this. Was that not the biggest regular season game in the history of Ford Field? Can you think of a bigger
it's up
regular
there.
season game? The only one I think that rivals that is in 2016. It was New Year's Day 2017, but for the 2016 season, they had a play-in game. It got flexed into Sunday Night Football versus the Packers at Ford Field. They lost. That was for the division. The Lions still ended up going to the playoffs, but lost in the first round to Seattle that year. The implications of that game allow me to explain. So going forward, your path to the 1 seed, had they lost, would have been a 50-50 shot to Philly. You would have needed help from Philly to lose. The Lions now control their own destiny. And not only do they control their own destiny, but they created a margin of error because you did 2 things last night. Number 1, 3 things actually. Number 1, you beat a divisional opponent. Number 2, you beat an opponent in the NFC. Number 3, you beat an opponent in the NFC that you're fighting against with the Eagles as a common victory, because the Eagles beat the Packers. They no longer have many tie breaks left against the Lions. They don't have any tie breaks left. So what it creates is this opportunity going forward. The Lions could lose this week and still get the 1 seed. They could win this week, beat Chicago and beat San Francisco, and they could have the 1 seed clinched and the division clinched before they even play the Vikings to end the year. That's how set up they are for success right now. If they win this week, I mean, game over, because it's hard to see them losing in Chicago or San Francisco. But even if they do, they have margin for error to do it. Not only that, Minnesota, they've won some games. They're not playing well, and they're entering a slightly tougher stretch of their schedule right now.
They got a tough game this weekend.
They have a tough game this weekend.
Yeah.
And Philly, on top of that, has to play Pittsburgh still. So Philly could be good for a loss. And we could talk about Philly all we want. People have been hyping them up for weeks because they just watch Saquon and salivate. Philly doesn't have that signature win right now. Their signature win, it comes down to...
I thought last week was pretty signature.
It took Justin Tucker to miss 3 or 4 field goals. The time of possession favored
win.
Baltimore.
Big win?
It's a big win. They won, but it's not... The signature win is winning and looking good.
There you go. That's for you
What's that?
in the chat.
What?
Crazy Sever was Dick the Night Train laying back in 57 or Barry Sanders versus Cowboys in 90s to clinch the playoffs. Rocky, live from New York. I was
I
talking
got
about
a
it
better
at
one
Ford
for you,
Field.
dude. It was a Monday night game with Barry Sanders and Bo Jackson. That was the craziest in-season game I've ever
But that's not Ford Field. I was talking about the biggest game at Ford Field. Of course, there's some Silverdome games that are huge.
Yeah.
The path to win the NFC now.
Monday night game with the Raiders and the Lions. That was crazy, that game. That was crazy, dude.
The path to win the 1 seed.
85,000 people, bud. 85,000. Not your little 58 in fucking Ford Field.
The path to win the 1 seed is now absurd. Like it's
How
there.
many?
65.
That holds 65?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they added the standing room bull crap too, so it might have gone up even. So
yeah.
The gist-
Still, put 20 on top of that.
well, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Your point isn't lost. I'm sure it was crazy back then, and a lot more feral. But the gist is, things just became a lot easier because you beat the Packers yesterday. You put an end to them unless you see them in the playoffs, and Lord knows you should be healthier in the playoffs, right? You're on the brink of putting an end to the Eagles. It's all shaping up.
I mean, I don't even care about the Eagles at this point. I think
seed.
I think to think about them Well, they're not. They still lost a game. They're still a game behind Detroit.
They're a
The
game,
Eagles.
they're a game behind, but that's
Yeah.
the point. Is the Lions could lose a game, be tied with the record, and they hold the tiebreaker over Philly now because
Yeah,
of last night.
Philly might lose a couple of these games going down the stretch. They got some. I know their schedules favoring them going forward, but they do have some tough teams they have to play.
They have to go
Like
to
you said,
Washington
Pittsburgh.
and then Pittsburgh
Yeah.
at home.
That
Those are the
Washington
two.
game is no gimme. Those divisional games, I know it's. I harp on that shit, but you've already seen divisional games. You watch Cleveland go into Pittsburgh and punch them in the mouth. You got it. You got to watch. This shit could happen. I'm telling you.
Well, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
That was
Good
one
game.
of my favorite wins.
Good game.
ever.
Big win.
Seven of the last 8 over the Packers. Their fans are now crying about calls and all that, and now they know what it's like to be us.
Who's that?
They're the Packer fans.
What do you mean?
They've been whining about calls on social media. They're calling
The Amon-Ra
Amon-Ra's play, a whole 9. But
Yeah.
bad calls go both ways, and nobody's gotten robbed in that rivalry.
Listen,
more than the
nobody's
Lions.
got more pass interference calls than the Lions. I mean, I don't know how much more you can call. I mean, they get pass interference calls every game that extends drives for other teams. I don't see anybody fucking complaining about that. They had one last week against Vildor that was not pass interference that got called that extended that Chicago drive. So I don't know where we're going with this. There's nobody that's gotten more fucking blown calls against them than the Detroit Lions. Nobody in the league for the past 40 years. You need to stop.
Couldn't
You
said
need
it
to
better,
stop.
any better
Yeah.
than myself.
So Zolo,
You need to stop right
Yeah,
now.
Bruce.
did you get my text yesterday?
Anyway,
I didn't understand what you were saying though.
well, that's because Bruce
There's a
was fucking
fumble?
high. and
No,
couldn't
the
have
Terry
understood.
and Arnold, when they both went up for the ball, and they came down. They both came down with it, but like in the process before they hit the ground, Terry and Arnold had the ball in his hand, and then came up with the ball and never dropped it.
Like
It
a
was an interception
bridge
that was just totally overlooked.
over troubled
Well, how did the play end?
waters.
Like I don't understand what
It was a
which play
gain
that?
of like, I don't know, 5 or something.
Well, happy it didn't matter.
Doesn't fucking
I know,
matter.
but
Good night.
still.
Terry and
I
Arnold
want to
failed,
know,
huh?
like that was like nobody else really noticed it, and I was kind of like, he came up with the ball there.
I think Terry and Arnold had 6 PIs.
Some guy brought a cheese grater into Ford Field. That's fucking cool.
Yeah, and he was grading.
anyway.
He was grading the cheese.
Yeah.
Terry and Arnold had
Well,
6.
There's other
PIs.
things you could do with a cheese grater. It's slightly amusing, but mostly painful.
Friendly reminder to remind you guys that we do not condone gambling on this show.
Yes, we do
Anyway,
not. That or masturbation. Okay, where are we at? Next?
Why don't we pick some games? And Sam, I don't think you could see this right now, but if you can, we are gonna bring back our old friend, the playoff machine. But
Playoff machine.
we'll have
Let's
you back
rock.
next week. So we're gonna pick 14. We're gonna pick it on the playoff machine, and then we're gonna end the show by just ripping through. And we're gonna rip through and pick we're gonna
Yeah,
guess
pick our games.
on the
That's
slate,
fine.
and Bruce will be the tiebreaker. But let's start in.
Let me get it up here.
Oh, you want to get it up? You getting playoff machine up?
Get it up. Let's go.
We'll give Bruce.
There we go.
Playoff machine up.
There it is.
Let's start in Tampa, Florida, as the Las Vegas Raiders head to take on the Bucks. The Bucks are favored by 6.5. The over/under is 46.5. Desmond Ridder might potentially play in this game because Aiden O'Connell showed up on the practice report. I'm going to look right now. He has some sort of illness, and this should be a good matchup for Aiden O'Connell because people have been lighting up the Bucks secondary.
If it's Ritter, forget about it, dude.
They're expected to play. Aiden O'Connell's expected to play.
Oh,
Jacoby Myers
okay.
is also expected to play.
Okay. You know what? You know what? I'm taking the Raiders in this.
Well.
Taking the Raiders.
You got a reason why?
No. Just taking the Raiders.
Over under?
I'm feeling it right now. What's the over/under?
46.5.
Under.
Bruce?
I'm gonna take Tampa.
Okay. I am also going to take Tampa.
Okay.
I think Tampa needs this one. They're trying to hold pace to win the division, and they don't have a margin for error to lose against bad teams. And it just felt like Tampa, they have all those one-score losses. They're a lot better than their record, and I just don't think they're that bad. I don't think Tampa's bad, and I think they're going to ultimately pull this division out. and they beat bad teams. So give me Tampa to win. I will bite on the Raiders covering the 6.5, though. How does that
Okay.
sound? And I'm going to go with the under. Moving on, we have
Bruce.
I picked Tampa.
you picked Tampa.
Okay.
So we're putting Tampa into the playoff
All right.
machine. Do you mind?
Go ahead.
Moving on, we're going to head to Pittsburgh for a
Divisional game.
against the Cleveland Browns. That's a 2-hour rivalry, 3-hour rivalry.
What is this at?
Cross
Pittsburgh.
is that I-80? It's 90, I-90, right?
Yeah.
Cross I-90. The Browns head to Acrisure Stadium to take on my AFC favorite, Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are favored by 6.5. The over-under is 43.5. I'm sure we will get this game on Hard Knocks. Uncle Sam, what are you thinking?
Over, and I'm taking Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'm going with the Steelers as well. You could take them to cover. I think that this is a game that plays right into their defense's
Bruce?
hands, the way Jameis is throwing the ball. So
I'm
give me
taking the
Pittsburgh to win,
Steelers.
Pittsburgh to cover. Bruce also
All
has the Steelers. We will throw them into the playoff machine.
Yeah, but I already threw it in there because you guys.
We have
both
two
did-
of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moving on, we have the Jacksonville. I can't even talk today. That's how bad of a week I've had. Jacksonville Jaguars are heading to Nashville to take on the Titans in another.
Divisional game.
Titans are favored by 3.5 at home. Mac Jones is starting for the Jacksonville Jaguars because Trevor Lawrence is on IR for the next 4 weeks. It's more related to his shoulder than the concussion, by the way.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous that Al Shahir got 3 games. Joke. Go ahead.
Do you want to riff on it?
No, it's just a fucking joke.
What are defenders supposed to do? Right?
Listen. Should he have led with his elbow? No, but it's a bang bang play, and it just fucking happened. You're gonna suspend this guy for 3 games? Give me a break, dude. Wasn't like he tried to kill him, dude. So I just sucks, dude. Sucks. Keep taking away physicality of the game. Let everybody just wear little flags on their shorts and not wear helmets anymore. Hey, go ahead. What do you got?
Titans are favored by 3.5. The over-under is 39.5.
I'm taking the Titans in the over.
Yeah, I too am going to take the Titans very reluctantly. I actually do think there's going to be some sort of offensive outburst in this game, so I'm going with the over.
Yeah.
Because Mac Jones looked good in his last start 2 weeks ago, and
Yeah,
also
he didn't look
looked,
bad.
He looked good in relief as well when he came in this past game. They say Brian Thomas isn't a good play this week. I love Brian Thomas anytime. I think Mac Jones is going to be looking
I'll
for
tell
him.
you why I like that Nene Akeem Westbrook, whatever his name is.
Westbrook.
Anytime touchdown right there.
Yeah, he's got
Yeah.
7 in
What,
the last
18 receptions on the season? And
Yeah.
7 of them are
And
touchdowns.
he's got a touchdown
Yeah.
in 7 of the last 8. Nick
Yep.
Akine Westbrook.
There you go.
I
That's-
also
that's
like
the
the way
money
the
guy.
Titans' offense has looked as well. So I could see
They're
Will
moving the
Levis
ball
going
good.
off in his Passover. I think Jacksonville's in good position to maintain getting that 1 seed, and I think they're going to do it.
I agree.
And give me the over, like I said. Bruce?
I'm going to take the Titans as well and the over.
Okay.
So real quick, are you in the sheets? Or am I?
No, I'm not in the sheets. I got too much going on. I'm trying to mod the TikTok, trying to mod the YouTube.
All right, well.
Shout out to Aviana and Inez.
Yes.
Rocky Oxford, our old friend in New York, Dave, Ruslan, Waymo entering the chat. We see you. Anyways, let's keep going. We don't have a divisional game here. This is probably a little bit more lopsided. Carolina Panthers are getting 13.5 points as they head to Century Lake Field in Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. Over under 45.5. Uncle Sam, what are you thinking here?
It's at Carolina?
No, it's in Philly.
Okay. I'm taking Philly in the over.
Yeah, give me Philly to win. I think they need some style points here as well to throw off the computers. They're trying to convince.
By the
people.
way, this would be a huge loss for them if they lose to Carolina.
Yeah, it's
This
of
could
course.
be absolutely huge.
Of course.
If it was at Carolina, I would actually take Carolina, but it's not.
Carolina has some injuries. It sounds like Jadeveon
Yeah.
Clowney is going to play, though. And there was one more. I can't remember what it was, but Dave Canales came out and said that their injured guys are going to play today. Excuse me. They're going to play Sunday. Yeah, this would be a massive loss. I don't think they're losing
No.
this one, though. They're lucky sons of bitches. I think they have the Giants here. Philly schedule. We'll do it in the playoffs.
That's not an easy one. That's not a gimme, by the way.
Yeah, but
Yeah, because last year they lost to the Giants in a meaningless game.
that Philly
Yeah.
team last year wasn't
They got
great,
their
though.
ass kicked at the end of last year. All right, Bruce.
Give me Philly to win. Give me Philly to cover. I think Philly's going to run the score up, and so you can take the over on the 45.5. Go ahead, Bruce.
Let's go with. You know what? I'm gonna take Carolina.
I hear you, Bruce.
I'm gonna take
I hear you.
Carolina. And the over.
There you go.
Next one's pretty big. Really big, actually. Big implications for us, big implications for the playoff picture, and just a really good storyline is Kirk Cousins heads back to U.S. Bank Stadium to take on the Minnesota Vikings. The Falcons are getting 5.5. The over-under is 46.5. Remember, the Falcons are reeling, but I think this is a more quality opponent for the Vikings, and they've been choking against the less quality opponents, barely beating them. That being said, the Falcons are reeling, so curious what you think on this one, Uncle Sam. 5.5
Well,
for the Falcons.
The Falcons definitely need this game.
Falcons need this game more than
They need
100%.
it bad because I think if they don't win this game and they fall further behind right now, they're going to be in big trouble.
Yeah.
Even though they have the tiebreaker on Tampa, they're going to be in trouble.
And this isn't necessarily a winnable game.
Yeah.
This isn't some like they just need this win. Like they can win it, they should win it, and
Cousins
they need
has
this
looked
win.
horrible the last 3 weeks.
I hate to say it because I don't tolerate Kirk Cousins slander, but he has not looked good for the last
You know what?
month, I'd say.
I'm going to take Atlanta in this game. What's the over under?
Over under is 46.5.
46.5. I'm taking Atlanta in the over.
I am going to go with the Vikings. So, Bruce, you're the tiebreaker on this one. I think the Vikings just they know that it's not going to be a gimme.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins
Sorry,
going
I
back
was dealing
into
with some technical
Minnesota.
difficulties back here.
No, not at all. I got you. I'm going to write the picks down. I think the Vikings ultimately win. I think Brian Flores saw Kirk Cousins for 2 years in practice, or was it only a year? No, it was 2 years. No, how long has he been there for? Is this his third year or
He hasn't
second
been
year?
there that long.
Okay, this is his second year, but I just feel good about the Vikings. They're playing well. They do this.
He got
thing.
hired when he left.
It's a close game, though. I think the Falcons ultimately cover and give me the over. Bruce, go ahead.
I'm taking the Falcons and the over. Kirko return. Who'd you take?
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Okay, I guess we have Atlanta.
Bruce, can you write the picks down? Is that possible?
Can I write them down?
Yeah, it's okay if you can. I'm going to do it right now.
What do you mean?
You're saying you can't put the picks into the Google Doc?
Correct. Because then it'll come up on stream.
No, it's okay. It's not
Okay.
the end of the world. I know who we picked, so it's fine. We have another, Uncle Sam,
Divisional game.
as the Jets head to Miami. Some warm weather during all this cold to take on the Dolphins. The Jets are getting 5.5.
What?
The Jets are plus 5.5 on the road.
Really? They're getting 5.5 points?
Over under is 44.5.
Okay.
What do you think?
I'm taking the Jets in the over.
I'm going to go with the Dolphins. They're still in it. They need to beat an inferior opponent. They haven't been at home in a while as well. Give me the Dolphins to win. I'm going to go with the under on this one, reluctantly. Bruce?
Didn't I see that Brees Hall is doubtful?
Brees Hall is doubtful.
Yeah, I'm taking the Dolphins as well.
Okay.
Moving on, we have the New Orleans Saints heading to New York, MetLife Stadium in the cold to take on the Giants. The Saints are 5.5-point favorites. The over-under is 41.5. Uncle Sam, what do you think on this one?
Well, I could give you my prop right now if you want my prop.
Let's
The Valdez-Scantling stretch the field touchdown. I'm taking the Saints in the over.
I am going to go with the Saints as well. I love the Valdez-Scantling. I also love Alvin Kamara to do some damage against this defense. I can see a scenario where Tyrone Tracy's yards over hit, but there's not a lot I like about the Giants. All the fantasy experts, by the way, are high on Malik Neighbors this week to pick on the Saints secondary, which is a little bit depleted. So if you like Malik Neighbors, now's your chance. I just don't know. I think it's still Drew Lock. I don't think it's Tommy DeVito, right? Can someone confirm that for me?
No, it's Lock.
It's Drew Lock. So
Yeah.
gonna be a tough one for the Giants at home. I think this is a lame duck regime, and everyone's on their way out. Give me the Saints to win, the Saints to cover. Darren Reese goes as 3-1 as the interim head coach, and he furthers his case to be hired full time. Bruce.
I'm taking the Saints as well. Add me to the list.
Moving on, we have. Are we heading into the 4
You're
o'clock
just
slate yet? We are. We have the Seattle Seahawks heading to Glendale, Arizona to take on the Cardinals in a.
Divisional game.
This should be a good one. On paper, it should be good.
This should probably be one of the best games of the day.
In terms of implications, it's this Atlanta, Minnesota. We'll go forward afterward, but and then you can make the case the Sunday night game is Chargers Chiefs. There's
Now,
kind of
didn't these guys
there.
just play here the week before last?
They did. They played
They
2
did.
weeks ago in Seattle, and the Cardinals obviously lost. They
They
kind of
lost a tough game
Yeah.
on the Geno Smith touchdown run. Am I correct?
Are you setting up for the favor to be returned?
Guess what? Here it goes. I'm giving it to you right now. I don't care what the point spread is. Taking the Cardinals in the over.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go with It's hard. It's so hard to pick this division because someone chokes every week.
Yes.
I'm gonna ride the hot hand with Seattle just because
Okay.
I feel like we're missing signs of life right now from the Cardinals. I would love to see the Cardinals show those signs of life. This is their shit or get off the pot game. If it doesn't happen this game, it's not gonna happen. I'm going with Seattle though. Bruce, you're the tiebreaker.
This one's a tough one. This is quite tough. I'm going to take Arizona. I'm taking Arizona.
So I'm in the minority there. Okay. Moving on.
Let's think here. Who would Sam take in this game?
I don't know. I think he wasn't as high on the Cardinals as Uncle Sam and I were. That's the problem.
Wait a minute. He's a huge Connor guy. You sure about that? He's picked him as his prop for every week. Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
All right. What's the next game?
The next game is the last place team in the NFC North, the once mighty Chicago Bears that had a red hot start and fired their head coach. Their new head coach, interim offensive coordinator, what's his name? I'm looking it up right now. Thomas Brown, who 3 weeks ago was the passing game coordinator, then became the offensive coordinator, and then a week ago was named the head coach. He's saying all the right things, and people think he's really well received. And of course, Caleb Williams has looked really good the last 3 weeks. Anyways, long story short, Thomas Brown makes his head coaching debut as the Bears head to San Francisco to take on the 49ers, the reeling 49ers. Trent Williams is out, already ruled out. He had the issue with his twins this week, and someone else. Nick Bosa was just downgraded to doubtful, so you're probably not going to get Nick Bosa back. And obviously, both Jordan Mason and Christian McCaffrey are out. They're both on IR. Niners are licking their chops. The Bears have a chance to do a funny thing and put their nail in the coffin. I'm going to pick this one first, and I think you're going to agree with me. I'm picking the Chicago Bears in this one. I think their new head coach gets his first win in his first game. I'm looking for Caleb Williams to do well. DJ Moore is questionable, by the way, with a quad injury, but if you have someone I like this week is probably Roma Dunze. I think Roma Dunze is going to have a chance with Keenan Allen getting shadowed a little bit, but I'm going to pick the Bears, which means I'm going to take the Bears who are plus 3.5. I'm going to take the Bears straight up. If you want to take them with the points, I love that too. The over-under is 44.5. Give me the over. I think Purdy has an offensive output to carry this game to match Caleb Williams.
Is Purdy playing?
Purdy's playing.
Okay, I'm taking the Niners. I'm taking the over.
Bruce?
Wow. I'm going to go with the Bears. The Bears. He's right. It's a good team over there. They just had a shitty coach.
Purdy's playing. As long as they ain't got whoever that fucking guy was that. Oh, my God.
Whatever.
He was horrible.
San Francisco.
The guy who couldn't complete a pass 15 yards down the field, he was awful.
Bruce, did you pick the Vikings or the Falcons?
I took Atlanta.
So I'm the only one that picked the Vikings, right?
Correct.
And then Uncle Sam, you picked the Jets.
Correct. You guys took the Dolphins.
Sorry, I'm writing the picks down. This is
That's
horrible podcasting, horrible content. I apologize. We all picked the Saints, right?
Correct.
And then I picked the Seahawks.
Correct. I took the Cardinals. So did Bruce.
Then I picked the Bears, and what did you guys pick?
I took the Niners.
The Bears.
Bruce took the Bears.
We're both putting a nail in the coffin there, Bruce.
What do you mean?
On the Niners. That's the end.
Oh, I take the Niners even if they win this game.
Yeah,
They
we already
win
stuck a
anyway.
fork in them.
Yeah.
This is kind of a good one here.
This is the most interesting one, in my opinion.
Maybe, but here's the problem. This time of year at SoFi, it's going to be a home game for Buffalo. Buffalo's basically got and they're going to show up to Ford Field, by the way, next week. There's going to be a lot of Bills fans there. That being said, the
Oh,
Bills,
you're going to this game. Sorry. I'm sorry. I was looking at a different game.
the Bills are heading to SoFi to take on the Rams. This should be a lot of fun. The Bills are favored by 3.5. I think everyone's healthy and playing for the Rams. The Bills are not in the snow after that 35-point outburst last week. Over-under is 49.5, so people are expecting some offense. What do you think, Uncle Sam?
I'm taking the Rams in the over.
Wow.
Yep.
I very reluctantly, I know where you're coming from, and I think the Rams have a shot at it. They need this
Yeah.
because they're only a game back.
They
And
need
on
they
top
need
of
to
that,
stay in pace with
just
the other teams.
So pulling up the West standings right now, which I think you guys can see them on the screen. It says you have the Cardinals winning the
you wanna
West right
go-
there.
So
Yeah,
far,
everyone picked the Cardinals. Anyways, the Seahawks are
think
7-5. The Cardinals are 6-6. So if the Cardinals beat the Seahawks, right, to move to 7-6, it would put Seattle at 7-6. The Rams can throw a monkey wrench in this whole thing by
Correct.
beating the Bills. So there's a lot at
and
stake
Sean
with the
McVay
Rams.
is a devious little prick, and I could see him doing this.
Well, he's just a good coach and he's got a
Yeah.
good team. It's not that he's a prick. It's that
Oh,
he's got
he
a good
is.
team.
He's a prick.
Like this is a totally winnable game for the Rams. That being said, I'm not picking against the Bills right now until I have to pick against the Bills.
Yep.
So, give
Well,
me the Bills.
I am right now because I think McVay is a really good coach, and he's a little prick, and I think he's going to win.
Give me the Bills to win.
Yeah.
Give me the Bills to cover. And Bruce, you're up.
God, you guys are always leaving it up to me, huh?
Your shot, Bruce.
That's the thing. It's easy to just say the Bills.
Sorry?
It's easy to say the Bills.
Go ahead
but
and say
I'm
the
going to take
Bills.
the Rams.
Do what you got to do, dude.
No, I'm kidding. I'm taking the Bills.
No,
Get outta
there's a
here.
scenario. There's a million scenarios where the Rams
Right.
win this game. Because I don't think not that I don't think the Bills are good. I just think that there's a lot of hype around them right now, and they
Right.
really haven't played anybody. They really haven't done anything. This is a good matchup for them. This is a good matchup for James Cook. This is a good matchup for Josh Allen. You got to go up against those Florida State guys on the Rams
They've
D-line.
been animals about
Exactly.
the last 4 weeks.
Exactly. The Rams
Yeah.
defense has improved a lot, and they're healthy running game. The offensive line is healthier. There's a scenario where Stafford forces Josh Allen to sling the football, and we have to see Josh Allen throw. So I'm
We
excited.
have
to
we
see
have yet to see Josh Allen play from behind since week 1 against the Cardinals. So
I'm with you.
Yep.
Moving on. We're almost out of games here. We got 2 left. We're gonna head to primetime. This is a lot of fun. This is a lot of fun.
See what I did there?
The Los Angeles Chargers head to Kansas City in a
Divisional game.
take on the Chiefs. The Chargers are somehow only 3.5-point favorites. I'm going to do the damn thing here, and I'm going to pick the Chargers.
Okay.
They should have won the first one. They only lost because Justin Herbert went out.
Okay.
What I'm looking for in this game is this would be a really good and big win for the Chiefs. I think this would be a great win for the Chiefs. This would be a quality win against a quality opponent, and I want to see the Chiefs look good. I want to see Mahomes shredded up. I want to see Pacheco look good. I want to see Kelsey look good. I don't think is Hollywood Brown back for this one. Do we know?
He was practicing. I don't know if he's playing or
Yeah, I don't
not.
know if they've activated him. Hollywood
Yeah.
Brown. No, they haven't. He's nearing return. It'll happen before the end of the regular season. He's not going to be activated for this one. I want to see the Chiefs look good against a good Chargers team. That's what I'm
Well,
looking for.
I'm taking the Chiefs.
I know
okay.
you are.
The Chiefs are at home. I'm taking the Chiefs.
Bruce, I know who you're taking, and it's fine.
The Chiefs.
That's it. Road to the Super Bowl goes through Arrowhead.
I don't know.
Been saying it for 3 years.
I think it goes through Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Last but not least, we have a Monday night barn burner between two teams that had very lofty projections and are now in the toilet bowl.
Okay.
The Cincinnati Bengals are 5.5-point favorites heading to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. The over-under is 49.5. Uncle Sam?
Joe Burrow's on a heater. He's been unstoppable. I would take the Bengals. Take the Bengals in the over.
I'll say this much. I love how the Cowboys have looked over the last month. They've gotten,
I like defensively how they looked last week.
I think Cooper Rush has gotten better every week, though.
Yeah.
Every week he looks improved. The Bengals are out for blood.
Yeah,
Buddies need some playing.
This game's winnable. You know, the last couple
is
weren't
winnable.
always winnable. This
they're
one's winnable.
mathematically not out of it.
Bruce,
so,
what do you got here? Oh, I'm taking the Bengals, by the way. Bruce?
Okay.
Well, it doesn't.
Well, I already took the Bengals.
Yeah, what do you have,
Yeah.
Bruce, for pick
I'm gonna take the Bengals.
Okay.
Take the Bengals.
So we all took the Bengals.
Those are our picks for the week. Why don't we move over to Playoff Machine?
Playoff machine.
I have to put it in. I wasn't inputting it on my end because I'm doing.
Let's
it
hit the
on
next week.
Once over here. Chat.
Well,
sorry,
now
I'm
you
not
gotta-
modding you as
You
well.
gotta look at this week.
Who?
Shout out to Goldfish Cam. Do you guys think the Chiefs will exit the playoffs early? I do. Uncle Sam does
I
not.
don't.
They're just not a good team right now. They're missing a lot. They're not playing well. I would like to see the Chiefs go on a run because that's the team I would most prefer to beat.
You've only lost, what, one game this year?
I know, but the Eagles had
Yeah.
only lost one game through this point last year, and they got bounced in the first round.
Yeah, but the Chiefs have not lost Andy Reid or anybody else. So
Maybe that's the problem.
I don't think Andy
Maybe
Reid
Matt
is.
Nagy.
I don't think Andy Reid could ever be a problem. I still don't understand the Philadelphia thing, but go ahead. What's the first game up there, bud?
Well, we have
The following
we
week.
have this week's. You gotta look at this week's. You gotta see the results, how the playoffs look.
Yeah. So, just as a refresher, because I'm running through it right now, we have the Lions over the Packers, obviously. We all picked
Right.
the Saints over the Giants. We all picked the Steelers over the Browns. The two of you picked the Falcons over the Vikings. We all picked the Bucks, or well, two of us picked the Bucks over the Raiders. We all picked the Eagles over the Panthers. We all picked the Titans over the Jags.
I took the Panthers.
Oh, you did?
I did take the Panthers.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
my
did.
fault.
I don't know why it seemed, it's that game for them.
No, I get why, dude. They played well the last 3 weeks. So I understand why. I get why you did it. It's just where it's at kind of bothered me. Okay.
Well, yeah. I guess that's true. It's a good point.
Anyways, two of us took the Dolphins. You two took the Cardinals. Bruce, you and I took the Bills. Bruce, you and I took the Bears. Two of you took the Chiefs. We all took the Bengals. So that's what it looks like
Yeah.
if our outcomes hold for Week 14. The Lions are still sitting there at the 1 seed in the NFC. The Commanders are on the bye this week, so no movement there. Philly furthers their distance behind them for the 2 seed, so they knock out whoever it could be. 3 is Atlanta, still maintaining the division because you guys both have them winning. And then the 4 is the Cardinals. 7's Washington, like I said. 6 is Green Bay. Green Bay would have to go to Atlanta. That would be fun. Green Bay at Atlanta would be a lot of fun. Could we admit that?
Could be.
And then Minnesota and Arizona would play each other in the rematch. And then on the left side over in the AFC, the Chiefs are still the 1 seed. The Denver Broncos would go to Buffalo as the 2 seed. The Chargers would go to the Steelers. That's a rematch right there. And then the Ravens and the Texans would play. They're playing on Christmas, so that would be a rematch if that holds. And I feel like that's likely. I feel like the
Well,
scenario.
I
of the Ravens,
don't know about it holding. I mean, we'd have to.
Well, no, I think it's going to hold because I think Houston's going to win the South. I think they're going to be the worst of the division winners, so they're going to get the 4. And I think Baltimore is not going to win the North, and I think Baltimore will be the top. I think that one holds out of all those matchups over there.
Well, we got to go through the matchup.
We're going to go through the matchups. We're going to go to
Do
week
it.
15, Bruce. Upper left, we have Rams at Niners. I take it that's a Thursday night game. I'm picking the Rams. What about you two?
Rams.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter what you say. We'll go top, right, left,
true.
right. Ravens at Giants. I think we're all Ravens,
Ravens.
right?
You know,
Jets at Jags. I'm going to pick Jacksonville in that one. What about you two? Doesn't
Said
matter.
Trevor Lawrence is out.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence is
Picking
out.
the Jets.
Bruce,
that's
taking the Jets?
yeah.
Cowboys at Panthers. Taking the Panthers. Fuck it.
Taking the Panthers. They're at home.
There you go.
Commanders at Saints. I am actually going to pick the
I'm taking
Ooh.
Washington.
Yeah, whatever. We'll just do it. Were you going to take the Commanders, Bruce?
Yeah, doesn't matter anyway.
Bengals at Titans.
Bengals.
Agreed. Chiefs at Browns. I'm going Chiefs there.
Chiefs.
Dolphins at Texans.
Shit, this is hard.
I'm picking Miami.
I'm taking Houston.
Bruce?
Houston.
Then lower left, Colts at Broncos. That is a massive game. I am so shocked it didn't get flexed.
Taking Broncos.
There's 2 Monday night games that week, by the way. Bears. This is week 15, so
I hate
next
the
week.
double Monday night game. I hate that so.
So do I. I think they're doing it because college
Fucking
football's
hate
over.
it.
It's Bears at Vikings, which I think is a decent game on paper, and then Falcons at Raiders, which is not a decent game. And that Falcons Raiders game is only an 8:30 start, so it's not even like a later. It's not.
I'm
staggered
taking
time.
the Broncos.
Bruce.
Who'd you take?
I haven't picked.
Oh. Well, yeah, but it's between you two. I'm the last one. I'm just the tiebreaker.
Yeah, whatever. I'll take the Broncos. Patriots at Cardinals. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. Can totally see the Patriots winning that game. Bruce.
I'm taking the
Sam?
Patriots.
Bruce.
You know, I'm gonna take the Patriots as well.
Jesus. Can we go chalk there? Because I don't think the Patriots are going to win. And if we don't chalk that, that's like an important game
All
in
right,
this,
we'll
in
lead
this
it on
card.
home field advantage.
Yeah, can you?
Yeah,
do
but this is just playoff machine. It doesn't mean anything.
All right, fine.
We're gonna do it again
We'll
next.
lean
week,
it towards.
so-
Home
It
field
does
advantage.
it
When
does in that
happens-
game. That's my
Okay.
point. Bills at Lions. I'm going to take the Lions.
I'm gonna take the Bills.
Taking the Lions.
I don't think I could pick against the Lions going forward.
Okay.
Bucks Chargers.
Chargers.
Chargers. I'm going to go with the Chargers as well.
I don't-
Steelers at Eagles. Give me Pittsburgh in this one.
I'm taking Philly.
Bruce.
Damn. I'm gonna go with Steelers.
Packers at Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Bruce, you pick it.
Damn. See, I'm gonna go with Seahawks.
All right, just do Seattle then. Chicago at Minnesota. You ready for this? I'm going to take Chicago to steal one.
No, I'm taking Minnesota.
Bruce?
I had them losing last week, so
I had them winning. I'm gonna go with the Bears.
Wow. Then we have the Monday night game, number 2, Falcons Raiders. I'm going to take the Falcons. Can totally see the Raiders winning this one if the Falcons are as bad as they
no,
played.
I'm taking the Falcons.
All right, Falcons. All right, so in this scenario, this is after week 15, so going into Christmas, basically. Is it going into Christmas? Yeah, it's going into Christmas. Chiefs still number 1. Denver would go to Pittsburgh. The Chargers would go to Buffalo. That would be a lot of fun. And then still Ravens, Texans. And then on the right side in the NFC, no movement on that front. Lions in the 1 seed. Green Bay would go to Philly. I would love that. I would love watching those two teams play each other because knowing one of them
I
has
would
to
like
lose.
see Green Bay versus Washington. That's the thing.
It's not possible without Washington winning the division.
But it's still.
The Commanders would go to Seattle. Dan Quinn would go to where he
Oh,
was once
Atlanta.
the defensive coordinator. And then
No,
Minnesota
we're
and
going
Atlanta.
to Atlanta.
They are at Atlanta.
Yeah.
Did I do something
Washington
wrong
would
somewhere?
be at Atlanta. No, you didn't do anything wrong.
No, I entered it in over here wrong. Yeah, I did.
Oh,
No. Oh, you switched the Cardinals. That's why.
Oh,
You have the Cardinals up there. I thought you both picked the Patriots, right?
yeah, but I said for when that we'll give it to the home field advantage.
Okay. All right, so yeah, I switched that to the Cardinals. So yes, so Washington would play Atlanta,
Okay.
another Kirk Cousins revenge game, and then we have the Week 14 rematch here between the Cardinals and the Vikings, which could actually be a fun game. They could actually be a good little turnout there. Let's go forward, Bruce. Week 16,
Week 16.
Thursday night. This is a hell of a Thursday night game. We have the Broncos at the Chargers. Give me the Chargers at home on that one,
I'm taking the Broncos.
Bruce.
I'm taking the Chargers.
Texans at Chiefs. I think those are two teams that could have been a really fun game before the year, and both of these teams have just not looked
All
good
these
this year.
games at Kansas City, it's ridiculous. Kansas City,
Yep, Chiefs.
they're fucking home field, man.
Steelers at Ravens. Very reluctantly, I'm going to pick Baltimore this one for two reasons. Number one, it's
Taking
at home.
Baltimore.
Number one, it's at home. Number two, for the same reason you probably took Baltimore, it's
Yep.
really hard to sweep in that division, and the Steelers are. I can't see them beating the Ravens twice.
It's hard to beat the Ravens at the Ravens.
Patriots, Bills. I'll take the Bills.
Yeah.
Bills
Rams at Jets. I'm going with the Rams.
at New York.
Yeah.
Fuck. I'm gonna take the Rams.
Philly goes to Washington. Give me Philly, but I won't blame you guys if either of you
I'm
pick
taking
Washington.
Washington there
Bruce?
at home.
I'm taking Washington.
Wow.
Live from Times Square down there, Sam.
Giants at Falcons.
Tampa is winning the division over.
I like the Falcons there, man. I like the Falcons.
Yeah,
against
same.
the
I picked the
Giants.
Falcons as well. Cardinals at Panthers. I'm going to take the Panthers on that one. I'm going to do it. Do you mind?
Go ahead, take them. I'm taking the Cardinals. I'm taking the Browns.
I'm going to take the Browns as well.
You guys are insane. Titans at Colts. I'm going with the Colts.
Colts.
Bears at Lions. Or Lions at Bears, excuse me.
I'm taking the Lions.
My opinion on this will change based on what happens against Buffalo. I think if they beat Buffalo, I think there's a chance for a hangover, and they will be so due for a loss at that point that will lose to the Bears.
I'm taking the Lions. I don't see them losing
Yeah.
the game after Buffalo. I think they're going to lose to Buffalo.
Vikings at Seahawks.
I'm taking the Seahawks.
Yeah, Seahawks. Jags Raiders in the toilet bowl.
I'm taking the Jags.
Yeah, I'll bite on that.
That's crazy.
Mac Jones goes into Vegas and gets the win. Niners at Dolphins.
I'm taking the Niners.
I'm going to go with the Dolphins. Bruce.
I'm going to go with the Dolphins.
Bucks at Cowboys.
I'm taking the Bucks.
Bucks.
Baker Mayfield.
Saints, Packers. Packers for me.
Packers.
Let me make sure mine matches up with yours. It does so far. Okay, so we
I
have
love this Broncos at the Bills matchup. I just think that would be an amazing game.
I think all of those AFC games
Yeah.
are good. All three
Yeah.
of them. So it doesn't look like I don't think there's any change by my math, but Kansas City's still the one.
Right.
Denver goes to Buffalo, like Uncle Sam said. That I think that would be, especially like Denver can play in the snow.
Chargers at the Steelers.
Denver's equipped to win in the snow. Bo Nix can win in the snow, in my opinion. Chargers at Steelers is a great game. Remember, the Steelers manhandled them, though, early on in the season. They handed Jim Harbaugh his first loss.
Yep.
So it'd be hard to pick against Pittsburgh in that one.
That was a close game, though. That was a close game.
It was
early.
it was close in score. It wasn't close on paper. Like if you watch the game, I thought the Steelers like absolutely owned the Chargers in that one. Herbert was banged up. I'll say that much. Herbert was banged up.
Right. He's healthy now, so.
And then Houston. I think Houston and Baltimore is just locked in because there's no way Houston would have to choke the division and they're going to be the 4, and then Baltimore would have to win the division, and if they don't, they're going to be the 5. So I think that game is just locked in no matter what. It's going to be Baltimore going to Houston, and that would be fun. Lamar versus Stroud would be a lot of fun. On the right side, Lions still the 1 seed. The Packers are still going to Philly. I'd be so good with that. For that to happen, though, the Packers would need a loss. We might be giving them an extra loss that no one else is. And Washington would need a win, and we might be giving them a win that no one else is. So it could end up being Washington going to Philly, which would still be fun. But I'm so cool with those two Packers and Eagles beating up on each other. and it's a week 1 rematch. It's the Brazil game rematch. Kirk Cousins Bowl in Atlanta as Minnesota returns the favor and heads to Atlanta. These are all playoff rematches, right? Oh, no. Well, I don't know about the Commanders going to the Cardinals, or these are all regular season rematches, I should say. So, yeah, Washington going to Arizona. Same drill. Let's pick week 17. We'll get through it quick. Chiefs at Steelers. I'm going with the Steelers. Uncle Sam, I know what you're thinking.
Steelers.
Oh, thank you very much.
Wow.
Look at this. This is the Christmas game I told you about. So they would play again. This is what's going to happen. They're going to play on Christmas, and then they're going to play again in the playoffs 2 weeks later. It's Ravens at Texans. I'm taking the Ravens. Oh, Steelers-Chiefs, by the way, is also Christmas. Those are 2 good Christmas games.
Baltimore.
Seahawks at Bears. I'm going to go with Seattle, reluctantly. Uncle Sam?
Seattle.
Cardinals at Rams. Give me the Rams there. Uncle Sam?
Give me the Cardinals.
Bruce?
I'll take the Rams.
Chargers at Patriots. 1, 2, 3. Chargers. Broncos at Bengals. I'm going to actually go with the Bengals there, reluctantly. It's their last home game of the year by my math. Yep, it's their last home game of the year. I think they win
I'm picking
it.
Denver.
Bruce, you can pick. I don't care who you picked.
Denver.
Fair. Falcons at Commanders. There you go. This is you can get another playoff rematch in our scenario
Washington here. I think Washington's at home. They're going to get hot.
I'll give it to you. Colts at Giants. Picking the Colts.
Who are you guys going with?
We're both going with the Commanders. Colts, Giants, Colts for me.
Colts.
Jets, Bills. Give me the Bills.
Is this the last game of the year?
No, it's second to last.
Second to last?
Mm-hmm.
Bills.
Titans, Jags.
Titans.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, so I'll give it to
They
you.
already split, so.
Panthers at Bucks. Bucks
We had
for
the
me.
Jags win the last game.
Bucks for me, because the Bucks didn't look good last week and still beat them. They're going
Who
to
is
continue
it?
to get better. Panthers at Bucks, week 17.
Bucks.
Here we go. We got a nasty motherfucker here. And there's implications based on the scenario. So Green Bay and Minnesota.
I'm going to take Green Bay in this.
So am I, because I just think there's no scenario where Green Bay splits with
Right.
Minnesota. This would set up, hypothetically, pending what happens, of course, this would set up for the Packers getting the 6th. They have a winnable game against Seattle. Well, we'll finish it out, and then I'll walk through that scenario. Raiders at Saints. I'm going with it's the Derek Carr Bowl. I'm going with the
I'm taking
Saints.
the Saints.
Yeah, Saints, double Saints. Eagles, Cowboys. We both Eagles there.
Eagles. You know what? No, Eagles. Go ahead.
Dolphins, Browns. I'm going to go with the Browns.
Cleveland.
And then Lions at Niners. Lions for me.
Lions.
Under this scenario, by the way, the Lions will have locked up the 1 seed, just so you guys know. Let's start with the NFC this time. So Minnesota goes to Philly. I think that's a very winnable game for Philly. And Green Bay goes to Seattle. I think that's a winnable game for Green Bay, unless Seattle pulls a rabbit out of their hat. And then we still have the Kirk Cousins Bowl, which is
I
looking
actually
likely.
like Washington going to Atlanta.
You like Washington in that one? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Playing inside.
The only thing I'll say is it's a road game for the rookie quarterback indoors against a big crowd. So I can envision a scenario and giving Kirk Cousins like the leeway against his old team, or one of his old teams, I should say. Like I don't know. He should be prepared for that one, but
The scenarios in the AFC look the
they
same all the way
didn't
down.
change. They're the
They
same
haven't changed.
Same as what we had before. Let's
Just the positioning has changed, but the matchups are the same.
We'll do the last slate real quick.
Yeah.
Texans at Titans. I'm going to take Houston. And it doesn't matter either way, no matter what happens.
Houston.
Yeah.
No,
Carolina,
by this point, they might not even be playing starters. Go ahead.
This game
is it?
matters here. Carolina at Atlanta. I'm going to pick
Atlanta needs this.
Atlanta needs it to get in, so I'm going to pick Atlanta.
Okay.
And that would render this next game useless. New Orleans at Tampa. We're both probably picking Tampa, right?
Correct.
If Atlanta wins in this
We'll take
scenario, no
Atlanta
matter
and
what, they
Tampa.
win.
Tampa.
Seattle against the Rams.
I'm picking the Rams here at home.
It matters because in our scenario, this game will be for the division.
Okay.
I will give you the Rams. Bills, Patriots. I'm taking the Bills.
I'm taking the Bills.
Dolphins at Jets. I will take the Jets.
I'm gonna take the Jets. Last game of the year. It's their Super Bowl.
2 in cold weather.
Right.
Browns, Ravens. Excuse me.
Ravens.
This game matters because it could bump the Chargers up to the 5 seed.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm also taking the Ravens. Bengals at Steelers. Give me the Steelers.
Steelers.
And let's see if this game matters. This game matters because in our scenario, if the Steelers lose that game, they lose the division. So this game matters, but I'm taking the
no
Steelers.
shit.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Jags at Colts. I'm taking the Colts.
Colts.
Chiefs at Broncos. For me, this depends what happens in the first one. I believe you took you guys overruled me on the Chiefs, and I did take the Broncos.
Okay.
So I'm going with the Broncos for sure on this one.
I'm going to Chiefs.
Me as well.
Okay. I don't know.
This is where Patty Mahomes starts to get hot. Right at the end of the
We've
year.
been saying that.
If he even plays.
Yeah, wait a second. Will he be playing in that game?
Oh yeah, Andy Reid.
Yeah, because they'll be playing for the 1 seed.
They make him play.
Oh, okay, then yeah.
Yeah. I think you guys are crazy thinking the Chiefs have losses coming that you don't even see. But Chargers, Raiders, I think
Well,
we're
the
both Chargers.
Chargers.
Commanders, Cowboys. I'm going to go with the Commanders. There's no way the Commanders lose that twice.
I'm gonna take the Cowboys.
I'm fine with it. Go ahead, Bruce.
Commanders.
Giants, Eagles. I'm going with the Eagles.
Eagles.
Bruce, pick this one both ways because the Lions won't need this game at this point in this scenario.
Yeah, but it's Dan Campbell.
And now pick it for the Vikings. So the implication here is who gets the 7 seed. Tampa could sneak in our scenario. And
Oh.
if the Vikings lose,
Hey, Tampa has a tiebreaker on us too. That's why, no?
wait, how do we have do we have the Vikings losing a ton of games?
No.
That's strange. We're off on something somewhere. Anyways,
You have Green Bay beating them last week.
Okay.
Where are they? You have Seattle beating them. You have the Bears beating them.
yeah, so we do. We have the Vikings. losing
You have
3
the
games.
Vikings losing out for the rest of the year.
That's why. That's why.
You really think they're gonna lose out?
No. I think the Vikings are a lock to get in. I think I was overruled somewhere with some of these losses.
Probably.
But Bears, Packers. I'm gonna go with the Packers.
Where are we at? What
Right here.
fucking week are we in?
If you wanna,
Week 18.
if you wanna pick the
I'm
Vikings
taking
over
the Bears.
if you want to pick the Vikings over the Lions, I'm fine with it because at this point I think there's a
Doesn't
scenario where the
matter.
Lions
It
rest
don't
guys.
fucking matter.
And then Niners, Cardinals. Take the Cardinals in that one, Bruce.
I'm gonna take the Niners.
Oh, all right. Then pick whatever you want there, Bruce. Niners.
No, I'm going with the Cardinals.
It doesn't,
Ah.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I'm going with the 49ers.
So in this scenario, we have Tampa sneaking in.
Wait, where do we have this? Bears? Or Green Bay?
The Packers.
Okay. So we got the Rams sliding in into the playoffs.
Can't we pick?
They won
forward from
the
here?
Rams won the division.
Can't we pick the? Yeah,
The Rams won their
we have
division.
the Rams pulling. Yeah, because we
What
gave
the fuck?
we gave the Cardinals and Seahawks enough losses, and we put a play-in game basically like.
No, that's it.
That's weird.
All-
Anyway, that could all change next
We
week.
should start documenting. Starting next week, we should document the playoff machine to see how close we are.
Just take a picture of it.
Yeah, look, this one's fucking bad shit. So I don't really love it, but
Hey. Whoa. I think this one's maybe a couple things.
no, I don't think
shut up.
Change.
the South doesn't get 2 teams in. The South doesn't get 2 teams in my
That's
opinion.
it.
And the Rams winning the West is also a bit of a crapshoot. I think the AFC looks pretty good there. I think the AFC in that scenario actually looks legit. But Bruce, go back to it real quick. So it doesn't let you do the actual playoffs, does it? No.
Not that I see.
So Lions and Chiefs get the bye. Let's run it real quick. So Bills hosting the Broncos. Who do you guys have in that one? We're probably both all Bills. Are we all Bills? All 3 of us.
Sorry.
Bills Broncos in Buffalo. Who wins that one?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I like the Broncos' chances in that.
But you like the Broncos to win.
Yeah.
Do you think like you're picking them to win? All right. Well, I'm picking the Bills. Bruce
That's tough, man.
and Sam would pick the Bills. The Bills are his AFC favorite.
Okay.
Bruce.
Denver.
You guys are really throwing a wrench in this whole thing. Charger Steelers. I like
Because
the
we're
Steelers.
being real. Anything could happen, man.
Yeah.
Steelers.
Any given week.
And then this is the big one. I'm curious where you guys go here. Houston and Baltimore.
I think Baltimore will beat.
Baltimore. I'm with you. So we have Baltimore, Pittsburgh, the Broncos.
See, but that's
The
typical
Broncos. Yeah, this
fashion.
is why you guys play that narrative. The road goes to their Arrowhead. But
Yeah.
so now you have the Broncos going to Kansas City, and then
Okay.
Yeah,
we
because
have-
I bet you the Broncos beat Kansas City.
and then Baltimore.
I
going-
actually think if the Broncos go on the road, beat Buffalo, then have to go to Kansas City and beat Kansas City, they deserve to be in the Super Bowl. That's a hell of a fucking path to take.
the other side of the coin is Baltimore going to Pittsburgh. Who do you guys have there?
Slim margin to Pittsburgh
Yeah, I
at
agree.
home.
I agree. But I'm deferring to Pittsburgh at home.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what? No. I'm going to go the counter to that because there's going to be so much pressure on Lamar to win that playoff game to get back to the
Yeah, but
championship game.
we've already seen Lamar in the playoffs several times, and we know what happens.
Yeah, hold on. This is the championship game, though. This isn't
Listen.
because he played masterfully in the divisional round last year.
Correct.
And they got in.
Correct. And then in the actual championship round, he forgot how to play football in the second half. So I still think it goes through Arrowhead. I really do. I don't. I think one of these teams. And see, to me, I love the Broncos and I love what they're doing. I don't think that they'll be able to get past the second round if they get past the first round.
Okay, so
And same with the Chargers.
so we have Chiefs Steelers by my math.
I think you're going to either have Chiefs and Buffalo.
Oh no,
or
I'm sorry.
Chiefs and
We have
Steelers.
Chiefs Ravens. You guys picked Denver over Buffalo in the first
Oh, did
round.
I?
You both did.
Oh,
You overruled me.
Correct.
So then you have Denver losing to Kansas City, and then I think we picked
Correct.
Baltimore over, or you picked Pittsburgh, and who did you pick? As I picked Baltimore.
I said slight edge for Pittsburgh.
I'm gonna go.
I think it's gonna. I think it's gonna be Pittsburgh going to
coin, Bruce.
Kansas City.
Because you guys are both going to pick the Chiefs in the championship game, no matter what. So,
I think it's
Steelers.
Pittsburgh and the Chiefs.
so who do you have in Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh going to Kansas City? Who would you guys have?
I'm gonna take Pittsburgh to upset Kansas.
Oh my God! Oh my
Knock
God!
them out right in the end.
I am too.
I'm gonna take Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm taking Pittsburgh. So I have
Taking
Pittsburgh.
to knock
This
them off.
this is
at-
shaping up to
I
my
think the
Super
only
Bowl.
team that takes out Kansas City is Denver.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think Pittsburgh has a better running game. They have a better two-headed monster in the run game, so that's why I would take Pittsburgh.
On the right side, Tampa
Plus,
at
Pittsburgh's
Philly.
defense is better than Denver.
Tampa at Philly. Tampa beat Philly earlier this year, and Tampa has had Philly's number for 2 years, including beating them
I
in the
don't
playoffs
think
last
that.
year.
I don't think they beat Philly again.
I'm with
No.
you. Philly
I
wins
think
that one.
Philly's a lot better now.
Green Bay at Atlanta,
I like Green Bay.
and then
I like Green Bay. To
and
beat
then
Atlanta.
Washington.
I like Washington to beat the Rams.
I actually like the Rams in that one.
Did the Rams lose to Washington, or did Washington beat the Rams early in the year?
I don't think they played this
I
year.
think the Rams. Yeah, I think the Rams beat them early in the year. No, am I wrong there?
I'm looking right now. They
Or I think Washington.
no, they didn't play
They
this
didn't
year.
play?
They didn't play.
Maybe that was last year. I'm thinking. I'm having a brain fart.
It was last year. The Rams had to
Yeah,
go
I'm
to
having a brain
Washington,
fart.
I think. Okay, so I'm gonna go Vikings over Falcons. No, you know what? Give me the Falcons at home in that one. Or wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Green
I'm
Bay?
sorry. No. I'm looking at the wrong game. I'm going Rams at home. I'm going Packers, and I'm going Eagles. So that would mean Lions, Packers, round 3, and then Eagles, Rams in Philly. Lions for me. They're going to sweep them, and it's going to be glorious. They're going to beat Green Bay 3 times this year in this scenario. And then what about you guys?
Maybe that third time's a charm.
It's hard to beat a team
Listen,
3
I
times.
have the Lions in the Super Bowl, so there's
Yeah, I have the Lions. I have the Lions against Pittsburgh right now.
Yeah, so then we have Lions Eagles in the championship game probably, and then Lions over
Right.
Eagles in Detroit. Right? We're all on par. Lions Steelers Super Bowl.
Unless we got an all Philadelphia Super Bowl that we're not even thinking about right now.
that's true.
Or all Pennsylvania Super Bowl.
And remember, these opinions are our own. They are our opinions.
They're like a-holes. Everybody has one.
So don't shoot the messenger.
No,
And-
shoot the messenger.
But make sure the messenger's Bruce if you're going to be shooting anyone. That's it. That's the Week 14 slate. Wish us luck. That's all I can tell you. What do you guys think? Any plans for the weekend? Anything big going on? Anything
Yeah,
fun?
I'm working.
Where do you work on the weekend?
I always work on the weekends.
Like you go to the stores and you clean some stuff up, or do you work at home?
I'm going to work at the fucking store, dude.
What do you do? Like, do you?
I don't do anything. I just stand there. No, I got a lot of work to do.
Bruce, you working this
I
weekend?
have a ton of work to do. I really do. Bruce don't work weekends. That was stipulations of his contract with Sam.
On that note,
On that note,
thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. If you can like and subscribe on YouTube, go ahead and ring the bell. You can find us on x.com, formerly known as Twitter, at Tipballs, Instagram at Tipballs.
Not this lifetime.
We are on TikTok. We would appreciate it if you follow us and interact with us there at Tipballs Podcast. Remember, we are probably going to give away some tickets to next week's Super Bowl preview between the Lions and the
I
Bills.
thought it was on TikTok, no?
Yeah, it's on TikTok, so you have to go to TikTok if you want to win those
On
tickets.
TikTok this time.
That being said, we hope you have a good weekend. It should be a good victory weekend. We get to watch and relax. Good luck in your fantasy clinchers if you're in one of those. We appreciate you tuning in, and we will see you on Monday.